It's been a while, it's been a while, it's been a while, but he is back. Brother Mike Hamer, wow. I got the call. I said, hey, let me hook it up and we're going to throw this thing together because I know you have some truth to share. Me and the crickets, as you can hear them behind me, can't wait to hear from you, my brother. We missed you. I'm glad you're here. And just let us have it. Let us have it, brother. How are you doing tonight?
All right, okay, this is Mike Hamer and the Rainbow Warrior coming back at you, girl. Be back, man. I know you moved to Africa, but there's still the connection because Africa is calling on us. You know, there's a vibration coming out of Africa. People don't understand.
Right, right.
A vibration of the truth for change and everything, you know, because Africa is the only one that don't have earthquakes and, you know, things like that. Storms might start over there. And that's because it's still connected to the core of the earth. Everything else is floating. You know what I'm saying? That's why it has so many earthquakes in different places. But we got to go back to the beginning, way back, when the women ruled, you know, when they was the first persons on this planet, you know. We got to go way back just to know who you are and know your superpowers and stuff, things that other people don't have. And see, they took all that knowledge away from us when we came over here. Knowledge of self. That's why I say get to know thyself. Talking about the inner self, not the outer self. Because a lot of people might be religious on the outside, but we all are spiritual on the inside. And there's nobody excluded from that, the spirituality. Because you have the same intuition, the same instinct, same headaches, same heartaches, and everything that come from within. That's a spiritual world. And see, we live in the physical and the spiritual world. And right now, we're not in sync with the physical and the spiritual. It's only because the way we're raising our kids today is based on materialism instead of realism. Nobody teaching morals or anything like that. So that's why I say we got to go way back in the beginning when there was order. When the women ruled the planet, ruled Africa. They hadn't populated the planet yet, but Africa, you can say Pangea what you want to, but they were there first. The feminine energy from the earth, from nature, from the universe, everything is built out of feminine. So out of feminine came man. At first, he was producing XX chromosomes. She's getting it from stem cells from her bones. Kept creating women over and over. Then all of a sudden, she started creating the X and the Y. And that's when man appeared. So the Immaculate Conception they're talking about is the Bible. They made it out of fairy tale or something, a miracle. But when all of the time, this was a part of evolution. Part of the mitochondrial gene being able to mutate and adapt. It's all about adaptation. So they say, who came first, the chicken or the egg? Now, we know the black woman, because when they talk about your nappy hair, your wide nose, and your dark skin, all they do is describing the original woman, the original person on this planet. She's the most beautiful woman on this planet because she gave birth to everybody else on this planet. All life. That's why I say we got to go way back in the beginning to understand who you are, especially our black women. The authority you have, because everything back then ran off the matriarch, not the patriotic. It was the matriarch. So the women, they set the rules that we supposed to be going by today, the laws of Moai. And everybody was in sync with that law wherever you went. And wherever it was women, they was all in one accord. And when they produced man, they taught man the law. So they say woman was put here and came from a man's rib. You could throw all that out the window. Say woman was put here for man's helpmate. How come you know it's not the other way around? The woman, she produced man for her helpmate. So she needed to take care of the children. She couldn't hunt, gather, and do all of these things and build. So, you know, nature got a way of correcting herself. And that's what we're going through, a natural alignment. That's why you got to know who you are. A spiritual and a galactic and a natural alignment. It's alignment, a love vibration of love, that love vibration. And it's for everybody. So that's why I say we got to go way to the beginning to understand who you are. Now, once the woman produced man, that's when she had to teach him the law. And the laws we're supposed to go by today, the natural law, the laws of Moab. She's the giver that law. But today we're not giving that law, not to her. Some may be half and some may be half alive. But we're so stuck on religion. And it's a fight between the religion and spirituality. And like I said earlier, you might say I'm religious on the outside, but everybody's spiritual on the inside. So that's the battleground for everybody. That's the battlefield. It's between the conscious and the subconscious mind and your heart. You got to throw the heart in there because the heart got a brain of its own. It sends signals to the brain, and people don't even know that. That's why they say, I feel it in my heart. It's coming from my heart. So we speak the truth, but we're not conscious of what we speak. We don't have the facts to back it up. So once the woman produced man, started populating Africa, they had too many people, so they started migrating. First man to leave was the Homo erectus, I believe, the Neanderthal man. He left before his brain finished developing. So he went east and he went west, but he's still populating. So when the Africans, the Homo sapiens left Africa, a lot of them started to mutate from black to white, black to Chinese. It's according to the geographical location of the hemisphere and how far you away from the equator. So that's the mitochondrial gene that the black woman carries, but the black man, he has it, but he can't pass it. So that's why we got to understand, get our women to understand their true natural self, their true natural role. Because the only weapon they got against us is keeping us from the knowledge of our true nature from us. That's the only weapon. That's why they say no weapon formed against the truth shall prosper. Because that's one thing you can't change, is the truth. But the women, they speak the truth every day, but they've been brainwashed to go by the opposite. They say, I don't want no man I can tell what to do and I can handle it. See, that's a true spirit. But they're giving you a warning. I ain't been raised by this. I'm going to go against it. I've been taught to go against that. You can't tell me what to do. Don't have no respect for the man. I'm not saying all black women, but a lot of us still caught up in that Willie Lynch teaching, that doctrine. The men too. You know, not just the women, but they knew when they messed with the woman, they messed with the nation. So they said annihilate the tongue. But see, a tongue wasn't like that at the beginning. Like I say, everything was built off the matriarch. They even told the men what to do, and the women did the choosing of. When it come to sex and love and marriage, they did the choosing. Kings or whatever. And like I asked everybody, what's the definition of being a king or a queen? And they have to think about it. But most of the people, they answered, man, a king of my own house. So I said, yeah, it's not rule over other people. You know, we've been having these kings and these governments for the last centuries, on top of centuries. That's because it's all about control. And these are man-made laws. But we're going by the natural law, that the harmony, the laws of the universe and the harmony of nature and the planet. Those laws right there. And that's how we obtain it through the black woman. That's why when they talk about wisdom in the Bible, the wise old lady, that's what they're talking about. So she's the one that planted the seed. Man means mind and woman means womb, other mind. Womb, man. See? So she the one that planted the seed. She started planting inside the womb. So these black women back then, they knew how to survive. And then evolution started taking over. And like I say, she gave birth to everybody on this planet. Now, some of the other races of people, they had a mitochondrial gene, but it's not as powerful as the African woman, the original people. That's why for the original truth, you got to go to the blueprint, the original people. You got to go to the seed. And we are the seed to all humanity. Because that when the law was blueprinted in us through evolution. So what laws are our women giving the children today around the world? Just don't look at the black women, because the whole family has got something to do with it, because they all came from us and we were responsible. That's why we went through 400 years of oppression. They took all that knowledge and self-knowledge and everything, our superpowers away from. They trying to be us, but they forced their way there. They just through deception, through religion and government. But no man need to be governed. Only everybody's supposed to be governed by the universe. Put it that way. And that's the way it was. That's the matriarchic system. That's why they were teaching us. They the ones that invented. They even invented how many women to one man. They are the ones that set those laws, because today they still say, my son's so handsome, he's going to have a bunch of women when he grow up. But they don't know they're saying, until you ask them, why you tell them? They say, I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out. I don't want no man or other woman don't want. You know, they tell it. If she wants you, I want you too. So in so many ways, they tell you. You just got to have open ears and know the truth when you hear the truth, because we speak it every day and sing it every day. But we just don't walk it. So that means we out of sync. But see, back then you had to be in sync. You had to have a sum of all knowledge, 360 degrees, before you could even migrate from Africa. And see, the Egyptians, they knew about the superpowers that we had. The underworld, what is it, sunset, the sun of God and the set. It's about night and day. It's about energy. It's about the rotation of the earth around the sun. It's about the moon that keeps the sun, the earth in its rotation. And all these three things combined, that's what self is. You got to know all this to know yourself, because your inner self is like the earth. Everything in the earth is in your heart, is in your body. They say so above, so below. You know, that's a broad subject that you could relate to. It could be energy and everything. But that's what I'm talking about. The energy from the earth is the same as in your body, because you absorb energy from the heaven above in the earth, electromagnetic energy. See, so you had to know all the stars. You had to know everything, astrology, all of this stuff before you could leave Africa to navigate your way around the world. But once you got there, you started adapting. And that's when people start changing colors, start mutating in the cold. They got a sulfur content went up. Our sulfur content is about 0.1, and there's about 2 point. That's because sulfur, when you heat it up, it'll freeze. Now, when you freeze it, it'll heat up. That's why the white people had to adapt to sulfur, make them regulate heat when they need it because of the cold climate. So they had to adapt, and they didn't have a lot of food to eat, so they had to build up a lot of sulfur for protection. That's why you can see them take that Arctic plunge in the wintertime and say feel warm. See, that's when they warm up. Because it's freezing, but they warm up because of the sulfur content. And see, we don't have a lot of that. Sulfur, we don't need it because of the sun and everything, because of our skin, because of the melanin. So the melanated people, they was here on the planet first, wherever they went. Before they started to mutate, they was African, they was black, they was melanated. So that mitochondrial gene, it kicked in and everybody started to mutate, adapted to their environment, adapted to the food they ate. But while the Caucasians was caught up in the mountains in the Ice Age, they didn't have a lot of food to eat. They got real aggressive. They got caught in their lower vibration, which they are today. And they put us in our lower vibration. We're going to get to that later, though. So nature was cruel to them. They didn't have a lot to eat, so they had to eat each other. They had to become thieves, robbers, murderers, mass murderers, just to survive. It's all about survival. But the ones that stayed close to the equator, they stayed dark. You go to the Pacific, you go to the islands, all the islands, and mostly all the islands around the world, that's around the equator, you see dark-skinned people. Australia is black people, you know. Tasmania, they killed everybody on the Tasmanian island. Like, now the British and everything, they came in and took over all of that. Everything, they whitewashed everything. But one thing about it, the truth has never changed. You can't change the truth. You can't mess with that. It's always there. So through evolution, that message was written into our DNA, into the mitochondria, into our hearts, into our genes, our genetics. So the blueprint is not going nowhere. Say, I'll never forsake you. I'm always there. So you got to go for your inner self and your heart. And what's already written in your heart when you come in this world is the message that everybody on this planet is supposed to go by, but did you get the right message? And see, that's where the mother's tongue. I don't care if she's black, white, Chinese, or whatever. Most women do what the man tell them to do on this planet, whether it's right or wrong. Because he's supposed to be guiding in the right direction. I think it says somewhere that children pay for the sins of the father, but what about the mother too? It should say children pay for the sins of the parents. Now, it could be one parent on the high vibration and one on the lower vibration. But at least your kids will be able to come back to that higher vibration because they heard it. And it match up was already in their heart, but they could see for themselves when they get older. And that's a fact. The brain got a strong will to correct itself. See, so the Egyptians, they got your superpowers all over the place. You know, the Ankh, the third eye, they talk about this cobra. It got something to do with your chakra system and your indoctrination system, endocrine gland. It's all part of it, all of it. But see, they knew all of this. Your superpowers come from it, is energy. You get energy from your tailbone all the way up to your highest self. And when they talk about your lower self, they talk about your wild, primitive nature, like the white man were doing during the Ice Age. That's what I'm talking about. They was caught in hell because they was catching hell trying to survive in the cold. So all they could do is eat meat. They knew how to kill and rob and steal, but they weren't civilized. And I think that if you heard the Nick Cannon interview, that's what he was trying to tell everybody, but they got upset because he was telling the truth. But that's okay. The truth gonna reveal itself. It's got to be told because the whole planet is out of order. It's very dysfunctional. The whole human family is out of order because of false doctrine. So we got to go back to Africa, back to the motherland. That's why they call it the motherland, feminine. Gave birth to everything, and now they still going into Africa. And the Chinese on the east side of Africa, and everybody else in between, and on the west side, the Gold Coast. They just going in and taking things, but they're not putting it back. So that's why I say Africa is sending vibration. It even sent dust over here a couple of times during the hurricane season. So it's talking to us. The vibration of the earth is vibrating right now, and everything is talking to us. And the reason I say we got to go and understand the black woman's role, her true natural role, and the black man. We'll get to him later. But we got to understand our true self, our true nature. And that's why you got to go into the spiritual world to understand that, not the physical. Because you could be blinded spiritually, religiously, or lied to on the inside in your subconscious mind. You could teach a child, show them a tree and tell them it's a dog, and they grow up thinking it's a dog because that's what you told them. But the brain, that's how to process it. Subconscious mind can't distinguish what's real and what's not real. And it'll store it as being the truth. So that's how a lie can be taught to a child, and you can blind them. And they look at the tree and say dog, and everybody else saying tree. So That's how the truth of the lie can blind you and make you deaf. Deaf, dumb, and blind. That's what they mean by that. Because you hear the truth, but through repetition, you heard a lie. So you're going to believe the lie before you believe the truth. And when somebody tries to correct you, that's when you get upset. So that's the best time to get to people, because once they get upset, they pulling that old lie out of their heads and replacing it with the truth, because once you hear the truth, you can't unsee it. That's why we got to understand how we're raising our kids today. We're responsible for them. But who's responsible for us? Who's responsible for the elders? See, everybody's complaining, but nobody's explaining. So what I'm trying to say is the black woman is the key to turning this around. Once she turns her attitude back to the original as a whole. It don't have to be a whole, because there's a lot of conscious black women out there right now and know their role and know their power. But we got to teach each other our true self so we can wake up. Because the reason I say the black woman is the key, because like I said, she's the giver of the law. And she was here first. So when she comes back to her true state of mind, everybody else gonna line up. And that's when they'll start feeding us the positive energy of the black man. Because his role is to protect, to provide, and do all of that. And once that woman stimulates his true nature in it, it's gonna kick in. But see, we don't have to fight with no guns or fists or nothing. We don't have to pass licks. This is spiritual warfare. All we got to do is unite and put our voices together instead of uniting and trying to vote. Yeah, you put yourself together, you voted the man out, but you still submit to a racist system. A system not designed for you, it's designed for white supremacy, for control. But yet you still stuck in the projects. And that's the reason they call it the project, because it's experiment. We have put housing up for the women, but you can't have no man. Now, nature in the universe is playing it that way. That's the way man did, because he knew if he put the woman, the lost woman, in there protected, and he become her protector, she gonna depend on him to protect the house. Yeah, we'll call the police. She gonna depend on him to feed and pay her rent and everything, because it's all about survival. So they playing on a weak survival instinct, and all of the time, if a man was in the house, real man, he'll be doing all those things. See, so we've been psychologically broken. We've been blinded by religion. They forced on us, and false doctrine. They lied to us about our color, our hair, our noses, everything. And like I say, all you're doing is describing the original person, the original woman. Oh, your nose so big. Oh, you got nappy hair. See all that negative energy. And they taught us to hate each other instead of love each other. That's why we too far patriotic today. The men are dominated, too aggressive. That's why we got to look at the feminine side first. And that's the power we possess. We have the melanin that's connected to everything, that everything has melanin in it. And we are the melanated people. So our original home was made from the 666 carbon atoms. And where do carbon and atoms come from? Just look at the stars at night. The stardust. That's what we made out of. And they produced a black woman first. Had to. And she gave birth to the whole planet of people. Everybody on this planet. That's why she's important. And she's the key. But like I said, she produced man for protection, for gathering, hunting, and to feed. And that's the way nature planned it. That's the way she planned it. To take all that place so she could spend time with the children, which we're not doing today. We send daycares and let somebody else babysit for them because we out there too much. We too caught up in the materialistic world. We out there partying and see who could get the bling bling. While the rich man, he walk around with ordinary clothes, but the poor man, he got all the bling bling and everything. And money has the power, don't have the power we think it really has. Because we was put here to share this planet. And should nobody be paying for nothing. That's real, true freedom. When your mind is free and you got your own land and you could build, and that's your money right there. It's your own land. Regardless where you live, that's yours. You shouldn't have to pay money for it. Money was created by whose picture on it. That's all you got to do is look at whose picture on the dead president. It was created by them. But we had the barter system. You see, wherever we tracked on the earth and migrated, it was ours. We didn't have to pay for no land, for nothing. It was ours. It was free. It's true freedom. That's why we got to go way back. It's freedom of the mind and freedom of this planet, and that's real true freedom. Because it's for everybody, not just for one person. When you look up in the sky at the sun, it's for the day. The moon is for the night. The rain, the earth, the water, and everything, all the elements is for everybody, and it's free until man come and put a price tag on it. So this whole planet was ours, and it was free. Now, if you want to look at it this way, the positive and the negative, God and the devil. Who is God and who is the devil? People say, oh, God did this for me. Well, people don't actually know that their brain got a strong will to correct itself. If you've been raised by a false doctrine, people say it all the time, I got to change, I got to stop these bad habits, I got to stop doing this and all that. But you don't have the tools to work with. So you think about going to church and listening to some of the elders, they might tell you half the truth, but when they do tell you the truth, it's not going to register because you've been used to listening to so many lies. You've been programmed by so many lies. So you'll be deaf when telling the truth. So we've been taught half, some of us been taught half lies and half truth. Some of us been taught most of the truth and some lies. But some of us been taught all lies. And that's the worst thing you can do is lie to your children. But we don't even know we're lying. That's why we got to go back, because if you look at it, there's 12 facts before we even came to Africa. We had family unity. We had marriage was sacred. They was breastfeeding their children. And that was what they call it. It was sacred also, because they know the importance of the breast milk for the children, for the children's brain development and everything. That's something they don't talk about, for child's brain development. And see, everybody's child was everybody's child in the true village. And like I said, sex and all that was sacred. Spiritual energy exchange, it was sacred. So everybody was in harmony in a true village. Everybody's on the same high vibration. And that's why these children, once they left home, they could navigate themselves anywhere because they had all that knowledge and wisdom. Now, a lot of people get knowledge and wisdom mixed up. And the wisdom is knowledge, but it's self-knowledge, self-awareness. It's all of that. Then the rest of the knowledge you get, that wisdom will guide the hand in the knowledge, because you be free mind. And when you free minded, you can put all that knowledge in perspective. You can see the lies or the truth in it. Your mind when it's free, and when you have the knowledge, when you run into a lie, you'll be able to discern that lie. Say, no, this ain't right, because there's no scientific evidence that can back it up. So people say, who is God and who is the devil? I tell them God, they say God is the truth, the devil is a lie. I say that's two sides of man. That's why they say the devil, he. They say God, he. But why when they talk about God, they don't say she. They talk about the devil, they don't say she. Because both of us, you was born, the primitive brain, the reptilian brain. That's your part of your primitive nature. That part of your brain, through evolution, your brain had to develop. That's why I say the Caucasians, when it was cut off from the rest of the world, they was calling it lower vibration, a reptilian brain. And all they want to do, I mentioned this before, kill, be killed, territorial. It's for survival. You control your heart beat. That's why you don't have to think about breathing and your heart to beat, because this way it's already controlled, because that subconscious mind, it never sleeps. So that's the devil in everybody. Now, the middle brain, that's where the high horse is. That's why they call it the bird brain. That's where your emotions and everything else is at. Then you get to your higher brain, your mammalian brain, frontal lobe. That's what separates us from all other species of creatures on this planet. And that's what makes us smart and be able to study all the creatures, the plants, the stars, the moon, everything. They give us the ability to study everything. So they let you know we're the caretakers of this planet, everything that's on it. But we just don't respect it right now because the planet is sick. Because our black women are sick. Our black families are sick. The human family is sick. So the earth is sick. But one thing about it, the earth, nature, and the universe know how to cleanse itself, how to correct things. And when change comes, people feel it, but they don't understand it. Oh, the time is speeding up. Ooh, these days going by so fast. It's something going on, but you don't have the knowledge. But you feel it. So your instincts is telling you something about to happen. And I know a lot of people around the world feel it. That's why so many people around the world becoming conscious now. Because the whole world got to put the voice together to tell the truth. And the vibration of the truth is going to override that lower vibration. That's when they're going to run. And that's why I say that's the battle within. That's the battleground between the conscious and the subconscious mind and your heart. Because the heart is the spirit, it's the fire. And the spirit of the truth is the spirit, the true spirit. So like I say, that's already in the child's heart when they come in this world. That's a spiritual word. It's all spiritual. The truth is already in the child's heart. But he's not conscious of anything till you tell him. So it's up to the parents, the whole village, the whole world, really, to teach their child that one truth that nature and the universe gave us, the universal truth. And he or she would naturally conform to what's already in their heart. And that's harmony. That's for everybody on this planet. And that's what we're getting to. That's why the black woman is important. Once she comes to that true state of mind and she starts teaching the laws of Moai and that harmony, that love vibration, then everybody is going to line up. Even the black man, he's going to line up because she's going to energize him to do his duty, to be the king he's supposed to be, protector of his family, the guider, the leader. That's his job. The disciplinary. He got to keep his family in order, and that's what she put him here for, to help her. So she could raise these children. So we got to get back to family morals. Nobody's teaching morals today. And that's when all the morals started, back there, way back, way black, with the black woman. And those morals are still in her. That's why I say we speak it every day, but we don't walk it. We've been trained to do the opposite. Fight each other, we cuss each other out. Oh, I cussed them out. What did you gain? Because you don't know when you get upset unnecessarily over petty stuff. You're killing your own brain cells. You're killing your own self. Use your own energy to destroy your own self. I ask a lot of people, man, how you feel like you get mad? Man, I have a headache and all of that stuff. They don't know you're making me. You think that other person making you sick, you making your own self. That's why a wise man, a wise lady is slow to anger. They're slow to anger because they got control of their emotions. And that's what the middle brain, the bird brain, represents, your emotions. Now, whoever controls your emotions and keeping your lower vibration, your lower self, it controls you. So when we go against each other and put all the bad message in our children's head, then we wonder why they go out there and shoot up each other. because the false doctrine that's going on in the house. And then you have the daddy, his role been twisted, replaced by imaginary friends that you never seen. How you gonna love somebody you never seen? You know, all his imaginary friends, Jehovah, Muhammad, all of them, Jesus. You never seen him before, but how you gonna hate your black father or your black brother or your black sister? Especially your father. There's too many people walk around. The black man, his image has been destroyed. He gave you this white image from these white people and all these different religions just to split you up. You see, I'm talking out of spirituality because once you connect back to nature, the universe, the planet, that's spiritual. It has nothing to do with religion. When nobody, no child has never been born out of religion. It's straight up spirituality. Because in the first place, you had the spirit to be attracted to that person. And once you combine souls, it's just like the animals. They do the same thing. They go through rituals, but they choose. And we do the choosing too. We choose too. But when it comes to love and picking the man is the woman, she do the choosing. I don't care how good you look or whatever. She don't want you, she don't want you. But if she wants you, they'll let you know. So the black woman, she's more powerful than what she thinks she is. Her tongue could build a house up or break it down. Right now, a lot of us breaking it down. The man could do it too. He's a parent. But the reason I say the woman, because all our lessons start in the mother's womb. And her attitude, her emotions got a whole lot to do with that. I know I keep putting emphasis on the black family and the woman and everything, but all I'm doing is trying to get people to go inside themselves to understand themselves and how everything works in the spiritual world, the dark world. We done seen the light. We done seen the light world, but it don't match up what's going on the inside. That's why everybody on this planet is so confused because they're in the false doctrine. And they call it their lower self, their lower vibration, their primitive self. See, so we are evolving back into the natural truth. A lot of people become conscious of the truth and they're doing their homework. The more knowledge you get, the more powerful you get. And that's why I tell everybody, study the brain, study melanin. That's something nobody else has the way we have it. They got very little. And like I said in the beginning, melanin is connected to dinosaurs, everything. It connects in the whole flesh. Even the rainbow is represent the air you breathe is full of melanin. Everything's got melanin in it. And melanin, it take light and sound energy like through music and turn it into nourishment and food for your body. That's why I say man don't live by bread alone. So you don't know you absorb the energy through the sun and spiritually, through that vibration of the music. That's why people say, oh, that music sounds so good. It depends on what music suits a savage beat. You could put on a lot of soul music, love music. When somebody angry and they'll calm down. This is how powerful the music is. And our music, our soul music. It speaks to the spirit that's in the heart. Not with the spirit that you've been taught by. The evil spirit, the lies, is not going to match up. But the people still going to have that compassion, that empathy when they hear that soul music. Because that's their true nature still there. That's why people tell lies. Because our true nature is to tell the truth. But the world is so many lies. That's why people don't want to be wrong. They would be called red-handed, but they still lie. I didn't do it. Athletes do it. They do it all the time. I didn't do it. It was my fault, you know. But it's not, people afraid to be wrong, put it that way. That's why I know the righteousness is everybody. But what you was taught, that's something different. Well, I see how everybody was gathering around the boat, you know. Yeah, we're making some moves and stuff in it, but we're going to take that over too. Because every day, if you look around, first black and then first black and then first we put last black first. See, that change is happening. It's happening right in front of everybody. That's why people talk about it, but they don't really see it. And it's right there in front of you. But if you're blind, deaf, dumb, and blind, you can look at it and you won't even, if you don't have the knowledge of it, put it this way. Because see, these change, it's not the first time change happens. It happened before. It happened always the same way. The rich man come down and the poor man comes up. That's the one that's going to have the planet is the poor man. Because he's closer to nature, natural law than the rich man. Those are their shackles, their riches, because they can't live without it. They haven't been trained, their brains haven't been trained to go out there and get it, to capitalize on somebody else's labor. But the one that's doing the labor, he know how to go out there and get it. So if you take all the money out of the world, they know how to survive. They go back to nature. You have to. Everybody will. That's why I say money don't have the power we think it has. It's once upon a time they didn't have to pay for funerals, pay to be born, pay for medicine, because it was in tune with nature. Wherever you was on this planet, as long as you was in tune with nature, you know how to go to the tree bark and make your own medicine, the plant. There's people all around the world. If they had the plants to make it, That's why you got to be careful of that Western medicine. They still catching up. Most of them learn their medicine and all of their knowledge from the Africans. Pain surgery, heart surgery, all of that. They learn it from the Africans. Black people been leading the way all of the time. We're just not conscious of it. We think because we live in the ghetto and they riding high and mighty that we're nobody, but we're somebody because we was brought here for a reason. We smart enough to figure it out. We built the pyramids, split up the world, and so we navigated around the world. You think we can figure out what our mindset and we turn back to it? Oh yeah. Like I say, the brain got a strong will to correct itself. The only way it's going to correct itself, it's got to hit a natural, universal truth. That one truth for everybody. And that's when the real battle begins between the conscious. Now you're conscious of the truth. Now you heard it. And you can't unhear it. Now the real battle is going to begin. It's going to come from within, not on the outside. It's going to come from within. Because your heart, that's when your heart going to play a part in it. It's in that love vibration, that true blueprint, to mix it in with the conscious and the subconscious. Like I say, the heart is a signal to the brain. They got a brain of its own. Stomach got a brain of its own too. But they all three connected. I call them minds, but their brain, the liver got a mind of its own. Pancreas, all of them got different functions. Like I say, that's where your chakra system come in. So if you got a lot of hate in your heart, the chakra system, once you hear the truth, if you got a yellow streak down your back, you're going to run. That's where they get that from, that term, yellow streak. Because that kundalini energy don't kick in. And if you got a bad heart, well, black heart, evil, it'll stop right there. And your own brain will devour you because you can't get out of that ego that you're in. Now, the ones that have pure hearts that purify themselves, then they skip the heart and go all the way to the seventh chakra, the pineal gland. And then they be activated through the astral projection to the star, to the heaven. And that's that connection, that's that God connection, the spiritual connection that we all have. And nobody else have a connection like we have. Gamma rays, cosmic rays, we absorb all of that. They can't do that. See, that's why they're so intrigued about outer space and all of these, the bottom of, see, we may not have went to the bottom of the ocean, but we already had a spiritual connection to the heaven. Dogons and Twat people, they knew what the surface of the moon was in the star Sirius. And they're still trying to figure out how did they know that. That's our original home. That's the black woman's original home. One thing about it, one thing about the man's role, he loves his children, protects them, take care of them, guide them, discipline when they, chastise them when they do wrong, and praise them when they do good. But the black man, no powers don't come from earthly possessions. They come straight from the heavens above. That's where our energy comes from, our spiritual energy. That's why once we get to that love vibration, the purification, that's what they call it. And that's when we're going to send the signal to the heavens for love and harmony. And it's going to activate. And Moat, all it is the universe going to activate it. That's when peace and harmony going to become on the planet. And it's all up to the black woman, her true nature, her true self. See, because we both, black men, been hung from the trees, whipped in front of your woman and everything, but she also went through the same thing. That's why I say, they talk about black women being angry. I said, they got a right to be, but they take it out on a black man. I said, yeah, we got a right to be angry too, because 400 years of oppression, who wouldn't be angry? But once you try to make that transition from your lower self to your middle self to your higher self, and you control all of that, then all that stuff, it'll matter because that's the path, but you'll be free minded. And then you'll understand I had to go through this so I could tell somebody. Because if you haven't been through anything, you can't tell nobody nothing. And that's one thing we've been trying to figure out. It's the truth the whole time. Something ain't right. I go to church every day and everything, but something I still haven't found what I'm looking for. They even made a song, Take Me to the King. She's all churched out. She's telling you in that song, but it really register in people's heads? No. Because they so used to being programmed to go to church and stuff, but they ain't listen to they hear it where they listen to it, but they're not hearing the messages. You say, I'm all churched out. We need a word for the people's pain. Take me to the king. Take me to the kingdom. And the kingdom is within. And that's everybody's blueprint of the truth, the natural law. Everybody on this planet got that in. That's why when you hear the truth, that one truth, can you handle it? Some be able to, some won't. But that's when they real battle. You don't have to say anything else. You can just send them on the way. Because they're going to fight their own stuff. They don't know the enemy they're fighting is the lie they was raised by. They don't know this. As long as you know it, that's why you laugh and dance, why you teaching people. And that's what it is, teaching. They might get upset, call you all kinds of things, call you evil, call you the devil. But you just keep your calm and tell them I appreciate it. That's what I do. I appreciate the compliment. This ain't no compliment, but I tell them, once you calm down, it's going to sink in what I told you. Then you're going to see what I'm talking about. See, because you can not receive the message through anger. You have to be in the right frame of mind. So once they calm down and be on their own, that message is not going nowhere. Then they're going to say, now I see what you're talking about. Now you gave him the tools to work with. Now he know he been lied to. Shoot. Now you can liberate your mind. Pick up books, because once you liberate your mind and free your mind, it's going to thirst for knowledge. It's going to thirst for everything. You're going to absorb everything. It's going to be like a sponge again. And once you start doing research, you can't go back. Your brain is going to thirst for more because your brain is infinite, like the black hole, like the universe is infinite. You can put as much knowledge up there as you want to. And through repetition, you retain all of that in the subconscious mind. That's why the subconscious mind is very, very powerful. It's also very dangerous. Things could be stored in there that fear. That's what they play on your fear emotion. You're born with two main emotions, that's love and fear. And the white man play good are playing on your fear emotions through fairy tales, through lies. This gonna happen to you if you don't go to church, if you don't pay your time, you know, things like that. And the truth is free. You go to church and pay for all those lies, but you don't have to pay for the truth. It's free. So I see these preachers, I see these politicians, these black politicians, and they hoopla around the vote, but nobody have no answers, no solutions. How come they don't say, let's rally around and fix the black family? Let's vote on that. Because that's more important than politics. You got the spiritual institution, you got the religious institution, you got your political institution, your educational institution, your military institution. And all those institutions, they control you with. That's the white supremacy system that control you. But it's one thing that's more powerful than all of those, and that's the family. That institution right there. Knock all those other institutions more important than all those other institutions, because those are man-made. What I'm talking about is naturally made. That's why we got to go back to the order. And see, we're in the age of Aquarius right now, and we're in that age of change. We got to go. Nature and the universe is forcing us to. That's why you got all these plagues and dysfunction and everything, and that's why a lot of people are constantly waking up. It's not just only black people. It's a lot of white people. There's a lot of people all over the world, different creeds, different colors. See, and those are the ones going to change the world. And now that's when you're going to really hear your voice. Is when we put our voices together in a spiritual sense, not a political sense. Because we ain't changing nothing. We ain't changed a thing. They ain't gonna stop black on black crime from black voters. It's not gonna stop the jailhouses from populating us with it because they're making money off this business. That's where the projects come in. You know, you single mother, she angry, dependent on it. She don't have that guidance in the house of that man, and boom, let them play Nintendo all day, let them have their way, they spoil them because they want a better life for them. That's the only reason they do it. So psychologically, you know, you think you're doing the right thing, but you're doing the wrong thing. So you preparing them to fail once they get out there. They can't cope with the world because they don't have that balance. They don't have that father figure that is missing. That's the first thing they say. They don't have guidance. They don't have no direction. They don't have no discipline. See, that's what fathers do all of that. So you take the father out and give the mother different laws and stuff. Not the laws of Moab, but the opposite of those. Then you're gonna raise a child that's gonna be caught in his lower vibration. That's where all this killing, the emotions, they can't control their emotions. They can't control their middle brain. And they show not up in their upper, their higher stuff, they caught in their lower stuff. And that's the way they want to. They want to control your fear emotions and keep you angry and keep you mad. So when you do get mad, you're going to do something you've been programmed to do by watching television. Take out a gun and shoot somebody. See, it's social conditioning all over the place. It's like people still hollering Jesus. Oh, he coming back to save us, man. You got to wake up. Your grandmother said it. Your great grandmother was saying it for 400 years. You still saying the same thing. You can't see that this is a lie. That's because you haven't did the research. You just accepting it. And some people just gonna be accepting it where it is because they feel like they got to be herded in the church like sheep. Get the message, and all the time they've been programmed. Every man on this planet supposed to have a message, and the woman supposed to have a message in their own house. And that's the real church, is the mother and the father and the village. So we got to get back to the basic instructions before leaving. That's what the Bible is about. But people read the Bible, but as far as comprehension, that's another thing. You can read it, but can you comprehend it? You got to be able to read between the lines. I tell everybody, I said, this kind of book, I said, it's a weapon. We're going to use it against them. Because they are blinded by their own lives. They can't really see the truth. But the truth is all in there. It's just fabricated. It's a book on astrology. It's a behavioral book. But it's also a book about black people, the fallen angels, falling from the law that was out of order. But they tell you how to get back in order, and your faith is going to restore it. But it's also talk about our journey, 400 years of oppression. I said, man, this is us. Every time they pick up their religion, look, I don't care who it is on the planet, they following black spirituality, African spirituality. Because one of the things about the knowledge of Africa, African history is world history. That's why I tell people, I said, man, you African American, right? Have you ever studied your African history? They said, no, man, no. Well, that's what you need to find. That's where you're going to find your true self and who you are. Your powers, your superpowers, that melanated power you got. That's why they want what you got. They want to be us. They selling synthetic melanin right today. That's what they want because they know how powerful it is. But now we're gaining that knowledge ourselves back. And our true powers, and that's what they don't want to find out. And the worst thing is scared of white man, especially in the South, is a brother from the North and the brother that know the truth. You can be from anywhere. I'm just, that's where I'm from. But that's where I'm just quoting what Malcolm said. He wasn't lying. Because we born outside of the South, you see a little things a little different. And your attitude's a little different than the ones that was raised down here. Because a lot of them still doing the same and saying the same thing they've been saying for the last 400 years. And they still believe it. A lot of superstition and all of that stuff. I say once the people in the South wake up, that's when things gonna change. Because we went through 400 years of oppression. We're the most powerful people on the planet today, brain-wise, physical-wise, and everything. But the wisdom is laying there to be woke up. The knowledge, the true self, the God in us. So there go God and the devil. There's two sides of man or two sides of woman. Because everybody did something evil and wild. Oh, he's wild. That means you caught in your primitive nature. You in your lower vibration. So if you make it past 30 and 35, you got a good chance of getting your 40s. Then that's when most people start to make that transition. Man, I got out of jail. God changed me. No, man, you changed yourself. Give yourself some credit. But they think it's the God and you did it. That's because you fed yourself the godly message. You fed yourself the truth. So you change yourself. And that's where the brain come in. As long as you teach the brain, retrain it. You better control your brain instead of your brain controlling you. And what I mean by that, you be master your own self. You won't get mad over penny and stuff. It's all right to get mad. Get mad when you're protecting your family, protecting yourself. Because that kundalini energy is going to come up and help you out. If you want to call it the devil, that's when the devil comes out of everybody. And that's when you release him with this energy. That's why I think it's in, I forgot what part of the Bible says, don't let the devil go down when you're angry. It's all right to get angry. Don't let the sun go down and let the devil get a hold on your soul. That's your own devil, your own anger. So it's all right to get angry, just get angry and blow it out. Let your body distribute that energy back throughout your body, because as long as you're holding that grudge or holding that anger, your immune system is at its weakest. You can't fight off disease or cancer or anything. And that's when a lot of diseases creep in. And I tell people, I say this religious food that people are digesting and all these lives and stuff is shortening our lives. Because it's not true food for the spirit. It's not true for the body. It's not true nourishment. You think it is, but it's not. And a lot of people, like I say, they've been programmed. They force that stuff on us. Christianity, what is it? Jehovah's Witness, all of them started by white people. Seventh-day Adventists, all that was started by white people. It's for division. We're going to get these back to believe this and these back to believe that. But it all started with Christianity and Islam. Islam is a spinoff of Christianity. That's why it's so much about like the Quran and the Bible. So much information is the same. And one thing about religion, everybody got their own savior. If you look at their savior, all of them got the same stories pretty much. 25th of December, the savior, and those people never existed. So India got Krishna, same story as Jesus and everything. Everybody else, Moses, he never existed. All those characters in the Bible, they was white and had European names, but they African people, African folklore. So our superpowers is right in front of us. We talk about how we got run everybody, how we done took over sports. They say, oh, you can't coach, they ain't smart enough. They telling us about us. All the time, we smarter than they are. All these black coaches, they say the black coaches, they can't coach. That's why we don't have black coaches. Now you see them all over the place. Everything is turned to black. Like they say, you go black, you won't go back. Go back to that black melanated truth. You won't go back. It's not just talking about sex. It's talking about a whole lot of other things about black people and blackness. It's when the dark came to light. So we got to understand both worlds, the spiritual world and the physical world. They got to match up. They got to go hand in hand. You got to make your children conscious. That's why my mother used to tell me, they might never lie to you, children. I didn't understand what she was saying when I was my boy, but as I grew and I started raising man, I understand why not. Because if you lie to them, they're going to believe that lie. She couldn't go in depth, but she gave me the wisdom. I had to figure it out. She gave me the knowledge. But she didn't. It was wisdom, but it was knowledge. But I had to experience and speak for myself to turn it into wisdom. Now I know what she's talking about, and I got the facts to back it up. That's the wisdom. You got to back up the truth with your knowledge with facts, with the truth. Because one thing about it, you can't explain a lie. It has no explanation for it. It has no scientific proof that a man can lay down and somebody take a rib and make a woman. That's one of the biggest lies that's told. There's no way a man physically will walk on water unless it's ice. Yeah, everybody can walk on it in, and then if it's too big, you're going to fall through anyway. So laws of gravity won't allow that. But the sun, if you look outside from the east, when the sun is hitting the ocean on top of the water, it looks like it's walking on it. So they turned astrology into mythology and made a man, made the sun into a man. That's over. And they still got people looking up in the sky, pointing up in the sky for God. And, oh, I'm going to hell. Man, you don't hear yourself. Hell is a state of mind and heaven is peace. But you can't ascend to the heaven to your pioneer gland, astral projection. You see, we're going through a galactic spiritual alignment, like I said earlier. And people they can feel it, but they don't understand what's really going on. Because when nature and the universe they change, we got to adapt to it. It don't adapt to us. We have 4 seasons out of the year around the world, and people got to adapt to it. They don't adapt to us. When it get hot, we dress down. When it get cold, so I tell everybody, nature's in charge. Man don't run nothing. He think he do, but he don't. But nature talks to us. The earth, it talks to us. The universe talks to us. But are you in tune with that network? A lot of people think you're crazy once you're in tune with all of this stuff and people. And they think you're crazy because they don't know the ignorant of you. See, by the time you're from the moon to by the time you're 10 years old, that's pretty much going to set the basis of your life, what you believe and what you don't believe, what you've been taught right or what you've been taught wrong. And that's when the children start getting confused because they got all this religion and all this negative energy doctrine in them. And then they start getting out of hand because they're going on free will now. And they attain free will. They ain't been trained to attain nothing. So their lower brain is going to dominate. I got to get my gun, man. I'm not going to go out here and kill somebody. That's that kill or be killed instinct that comes from that part of the brain. They gang up. It's territorial, gang mentality. That's why you see people ganging up. Even the militaries around the world, they gang up and fight each other. It's the same thing. Rich man, poor man, you still got the same thing. You still got the inside, still see the inside. There's no difference. That's the underworld, the dark world, spiritual world. You can look in the mirror and see the physical, but you can't see the spiritual. You can feel it, but you can't see it. Even when you get sick, your body telling you something wrong. It's letting you know. When you get a fever, telling you something wrong. Everybody get a fever, something wrong. You got bacteria infection. You know, difference rich man and poor man. You still got the same last name. But like I tell everybody, I said, man, it's time for us to take it to them now. Because they weak. They don't know which way to turn. And President Trump then exposed all of these true racist people that's still in America, you know, but that's all right. Because like I said, we're a spiritual genetic warfare. That's going to win out every time. We are a weapon. We about change. When we change, everything changes. And we got the power, the melanated power, to send those signals to the universe and connect to the universe. We got that pioneer gland, that God gland. Like I say, that's the first gland that developed after 3 weeks of conception. The pioneer gland in the heart is beat. And that's the first gland that's developed in your body. Then the pituitary gland. So they see the true world. That's why they don't want you to reach your higher self. They want to keep you in your lower self. So you won't figure things out. Keep you off balance. And they use their education, you know, dumb you down. Hey, you thinking their ways is right. You know, all this astrology they get, that the way they see the world is right. And all of the time they don't teach you about all of that pioneer land. For once upon a time they said it was no use. There's no use to them. There's plenty of use to us. So that's the first gland that's developing. That's your spiritual connection to the universe. You see the true world. Your physical eyes, you see the physical world. Your outer eyes, your pair eyes. Now, when they match up, when the physical and the spiritual match up on the same vibration, then because you put all three of them together, it becomes all three and eye, third eye. And see, that's what they don't want us to get to because they know our superpowers will kick in and we'll understand and know how to use it. And that's what they don't want because they know they can't control everything anymore. But they don't understand this deception been going on for centuries. And lies will kill their own self. Evil will kill evil. You can't change the truth, but you can't change lies. So like I say, we caught up in this materialistic world and everybody about money. being, having parties, having fun, birthday parties and all this, and turn your back on nature, turn your back on the universe. So people are not even aware of what's really going on. They too, like I said, they too concentrate. Man, I got to get up and make $1. I got to get up and hustle. I got to do this, make money. I got to buy this. I got to buy that. Even the ones that have been raised like this out there robbing, they still going off of survival instinct. And when you caught in that wild state, that primitive state of mind, you're going to do things like that. Rob, steal, kill. Everything's going to be about you. That's because you had nobody there to raise you and put the right message in to lead and guide you. So we doing some of us doing a good job, some of us not doing a good job. But we all should be doing the same job of raising our children. But it's the process. That's why I say evolution, we had to go through this. This has been going on for centuries. But now this is the last call. When I tell people about the New World Order, they think I'm talking about where the white man see it, where the Caucasian. No, I'm talking about order of the world, on the planet. Like they say, the meek and the humble go inherit the planet. So the meek and the humble, all of them going to be going by that universal law, that vibration of love and harmony. And our love will steal the stars. It'll steal everything, put everything in order, even the weather, because we all connected to this. That's why our brains come in and study all of this stuff. It's all connected. Even the creatures at the bottom of the ocean are still connected to us because we learn from them. They make a luminescence, they make their own light down there. The sun don't even reach down there, but they make their own light. See, so we still studying everything on this planet, and that's why our brains separate us from everything else. But we got to understand our children's brain development. They got to be taught and led and guided in the right direction to be righteous. That's why I tell everybody, I say take the role of the mother, the role of the father, and the role of the village to raise one child. And all these ingredients, you use the mother, the father's role, and the village, and they're all on one accord. That's what it takes to make a strong mind and a healthy heart. And put that child on the righteous path right there, the universal law, the laws of morality. The mother, she's the giver of the law, but daddy got to be there to enforce that law. And that one law, like I tell you, is universal law. And then your children, they will grow up all right. Right? Like I said today, you try to spoil them and then give them morals, they ain't going to listen. Now try giving them morals and then reward them with something. It's not wrong with material stuff, but you can't put that before morals. You never spoil them because you spoil them when you give them milk and breastfeed them or however you deliver the milk to them and everything. That's why they attack you. When you take their bottles away and stuff, you got to put them in check. That's their primitive nature. I'm trying to survive, but you taking my food away, my food source. And we all done experienced that. Babies attacked other babies too, and they're jealous of them. That's a survival. Oh, you taking my my glory, all the attention is on them. And they get jealous sometimes. So we got to develop these brains right. Now it's all right. All the three of your parts of your brain got to work in sync. But that low vibration got to be taught to be put in your emotions, the middle brain. You got to be taught to control your lower brain. That wildness, that wild state, your anger and everything. That's where your emotions, once you control that, then you can reach your higher self. And that's when you know yourself. Then you know how powerful you are because you'll see the world the way you're supposed to see it. So that's why I concentrate on the family, the black family, because I know how powerful it is. I know how powerful we are. And I know if we fix up, the world is going to fall in line because he's already written. It's already written in their books. The journey and everything the whole world is going to go through. This is the last call because if you go way back when they didn't have no cell phones, they had just drums. That was their communication. But now look at us now. They got satellites up there in the sky and stuff, but we got a satellite right up on your head, right between your two ears. It's a hell of a satellite that they don't have. And that's why they had to come through us for information, come through us for dance, come through us for music. Because we absorb all the energy. And that's why we got the rhythm. That's why we could create. We got the creative mind. And that's why they take from us and use it. And people say that all the time, but they don't know that they don't hear themselves. The true self will tell you, I'm smarter than they are. My brain is second to nobody because my brain is the original brain. I had to figure things out before it was white man, Chinese man, any other man. I had to figure the plants out, the animals, everything. I had to adapt. I had to figure the weather out, when to dress down, when to dress up. I had to adapt to the cold. I had to adapt to the high altitude. So everything go back to the blueprint, to the original people. We are the original people. And like I said, it's time for us to take it to them now because I love talking about this, but I know what time it is. It's 2020, and a lot of people think voting going to change things and get them where they want to or whatever, but you can't vote for freedom. You take that. But our true voices, once we put them together, it will be heard. They say, gain your voice. We gain your voice by voting. No, those people speaking for you. I don't need nobody to speak for me. I belong to the universe. And we all do. We just don't know it. But that's who you belong to, the universe. And once that network with the universe start coming through your pineal gland in your head, then you know your superpower. You know superpower. And our superpowers go straighten the whole world out. That's our ammunition is the truth. And that's what everybody's afraid of. That's why over the centuries and over years they kill people that was telling the truth. And that's one thing they fear most is the truth. Everybody fears that. I don't care if it's black, white, or whatever, they fear it. That's why people run. That yellow street get down your back. But see, the only devil will run from people. Now the God-like people, the ones that got a lot of, they stand there and, especially the conscious people, they already know. But the ones that's not conscious, but they still humble and they got a good heart, it's easier for them to receive the message than the ones that got bad hearts and they're raised by a bunch of lies, especially religion. People try to kill you over their religion. Religion. Read, some you repeat, and some living, some you bound to. So religiously, we got to go back to the order and follow those laws religiously. I said we ain't go through 400 years of oppression for nothing. It's our time to wake up. It's all in there. The signs are all there. The planets, everything is talking to us. It's waking everything up. Change. People, all these earthquakes, the earth flooding, and they say the earth flooded back then. It's flooding now. That means change was here. That's all it was. Unseasonable weather. People fighting each other, children against parents, parents against children. All the chaos. Diseases, famine, people starving. And one thing about it, political and religious institutions, they have never reformed mankind. Because one thing about it, politics is the ones that form religion. Politicians, the Romans, they had to figure out a way to control people. And that's when they brought the religion in. And they got us some African folklore and African history and just flipped the script. And they came up with the name Jesus. See, and it's all for control. So when they say politics and religion don't go hand in hand, that's a lie. The first school you go to when you're a child is Sunday school. Then we get to the 12th grade, they teach you government economics. 11th to 12th grade, they teach you. Nah, they done processed you through their knowledge, through their school system, and planted these seeds that this stuff is real in your head. Now you're a prisoner. You brainwashed, and now you're a prisoner to their beliefs and their system because you think it's real. Because this is what I taught and learned in school, and I got an A+ in this. Yeah, you got an A+. That's something you shouldn't learn. You got to unlearn that now. They were teaching a bunch of lies. They were glorifying them. They last murderers. They glorify. So they let you know they was caught in lower vibration, which a lot of them still are. Not all of them. There's a lot of people on the planet that's caught in lower vibration, but not everybody. So do you know who you are? You're the most powerful person on this planet because you're the original person, our people, original man, original woman. This is our planet. It's time for us to take it back and take control and free the people's minds and stuff. That's what we sent over here to do, to figure it out. They took the truth from us. But we navigated our way through all this 400 years of oppression back to the top, back to the mountaintop. Like King South Sea, when you get there, he's talking about your high vibration. When the story of Moses, when he went to the mountaintop, he went to his high vibration. Jacob, when he climbed the ladder, he went from his lower vibration to his high vibration. That's why he said, in the land of pioneer, I came face to face with God. Just tell you right there in that story right there in the book. The pineal gland, that's your God gland. So do you know who you are? It's more to us than we think it is. Like I say, our bodies, especially the black woman, is like the earth. Everything that's in the earth is in our bodies. Copper, gold, everything. It's all connected. You could take your veins. Each person could wrap around the world 1.5 times. This is what kind of network that you have in your own body. And if you look in your brain and the light that's going on in your brain, you look up in the sky, it looks just like the universe. Because that's what it is. It's universal. But Lance, he moved to Africa. And like I said at the beginning, it's okay because Africa is calling us. It's calling our ancestors. They're calling us. Nature is calling us. The universe is calling on us to stand up and take our rightful place in the world, in our home, and in nature. Because we are the vanguards of the New World Order, the real New World Order. We're going to put the world in order. Because we've been ordained through 400 years of oppression to be able to do it. If you want to say initiation, that's a hell of an initiation. You go through all of that pain and suffering just to get back to the truth. But once you get back there, they can't take it away no more. And that's the thing about it. It's part of evolution. Like I say, we didn't have satellites back then. In the day you had drums. You had to communicate through drums, through the heartbeat. But now we got cell phones. We got all kind of communication. And we're in the age of information. So nobody can hide the truth from you no more. You got to liberate your mind and do your own research. Obtain your own knowledge. And then you just really see just how powerful you are and how you can retain things and learn things, just soak it up and put things together you haven't read yet, but you already got stored in your mind, but you'll figure it out. We're just that powerful. So we got to understand that this is our time to stand up and wake up and take it to them, because they weak right now. They don't know what to do. Nobody around the world. The rich man, he think he's in control, but he has no answer. He want to stay on top, so they using fear. I'm gonna kill you if you don't submit to my ways and stuff. So who gave you the right to do that? Who gave you a right to charge to eat, charge to live? They even sell your air, which is free. But like I say, Mother Africa is calling us. This is Michael Heyman, Rainbow Warrior. We'll get back with you soon. I hadn't seen Lance in a while and everything. I really had been a little sick, but I'm back on now because it's spiritual food that I digest. It just won't let me stay sick. Okay, put it that way. I start feeding myself that positive information because we are self-healers. Healthy, Healthy, heal thyself. We got superpowers that, as long as you know how to use it on the inside, that spiritual truth, it'll heal you. Because, like I said in the beginning, it'll give you nourishment for your body, the spiritual food. And that's what a lot of people missing. The physical, it's some of the things we is bad, but that spiritual food, those lies, that's the main food that's killing a lot of people. It's shortening our lives and stuff because if you believe something, if you don't have no facts to back it up, and I tell people you need to leave that alone. If you cannot scientifically back that up with facts, you better leave that alone because it's a lie. Because one thing, a lie, you cannot explain it. This is Michael Hamer. Get back with you real soon. The Rainbow Warrior. It's time to take it to them because, like I say, they weak. It's soft. They don't want everybody complaining, but nobody explaining it. Even the Bible tells us it's time for us to take it to them. You just need a platform. Because I tell everybody I could go by myself, and I tell them, bring your armies, bring your money, bring your religion, but bring your children. We'll let them decide who's telling the truth because those their children haven't been planted, the seeds haven't been planted all those lies, and the truth is still there, and they will tell the truth. This is Michael Hammond checking out. We'll be back with you, the Rainbow War.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold. raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes, slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.